Okay, I am now here. Okay, so I'm going to go kind of fast today. You all can enter if you'd like. Enter the Kalaman server. I just want to make some shit work, and so that's my main focus today. If everything goes well, we will have mounted the RAID. We will have created a VM that fits on the fast drive, and then also a VM that fits on the slow drive or on the that fits on the RAID, on the software RAID. I'm a little concerned about the RAID situation, but yeah, whatever. Okay, let's see if you're all on. Okay, so you are all on. Let's get going. So you can see from my DF here that, okay, 100 gigs on Slack. Okay, so there's 100 gigs en route, so that's good. And to be honest, so okay, in my head, what I'm thinking about is how to sort of size our VMs in a way that doesn't sort of destroy us. You know, I feel like my VMs are currently a little too small, and that's at 40 gigs for my hosting VM, and I have an infinite size for my mail server VM, where it's hundreds of gigs, but I'm also using it for file storage, but it isn't using up disk space all that quickly. The main point is just to know that you have to think about the future when you think about how to size VMs. And then the additional issue is what are the consequences of us putting a VM on a RAID versus putting a VM on the SSD? And then also, or perhaps finally, I have a little bit of cross my fingers regarding the SSD, where I feel like it'll be okay, but I've never sort of had an SSD break before, and so I have no idea what those errors are going to look like and how prepared we should be for any of that. If you all want to think about some possibilities for research, studying things like I/O flops and how to measure disk performance, that's the sort of thing I'd recommend looking into, and it's the sort of thing that I'll be thinking about, well, at some point here in the process. Again, what I want to do here is I want to mount the software RAID, make sure it works, make sure the FS tab works correctly, and then finally I want to create a new VM, at least one. Hopefully I'll be able to hand that off to someone to install a mail server onto, and then spin up a second VM for web hosting. And so that web hosting will be where we move WordPress installs onto. As you'll see, spinning up new VMs is really easy, really quick. The only real technical issue will be about hosting. Networking. And I feel like that's somewhat resolved, but we'll see. So to start with, I'm just going to show you all something that is the network configuration for so you can all look at that. That's the network configuration on Beno, which is my other Xen server. And then you can obviously do the same thing here on our server and see where the similarities are. Actually, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit so we don't sort of get lost in this. So let's see here. Okay, you can see the similarities. You can also see the simplicity here. Okay, so just to explain what's going on here, Bridge FT, I'm not exactly sure what this is. This right here is spanning tree protocol, and this basically is to the extent to which we're going to have our internal networking. I guess you all in the chat can discuss names. I'd like to give the servers different naming conventions than ATK_PHP and ATK_WordPress. So you all can think about what sort of naming convention to use. But what I will say is the way we're going to organize this is that 162 is the sort of what's called the VM 0 or the DOM U, but it's the parent. It's the parent server, and so the first VM will be a VM1, next one will be VM2. VM1 will have an IP address that's 162, and VM2 will have an IP address that's 163. So that's the important thing to sort of differentiate between what we're talking about. 161 will most likely only have SSH access to it and nothing else. So our ideal scenario will look something like so 175.
Well, I heard about this.
Okay, so that looks good. We're going to have to make some changes on, let's see here. Okay. Sorry, I'm just poking around to figuring out what's set up and what's not. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is see what the hell's going on with our hard drive setup. So, so we had MD0 at some point, and I don't see where that's. It's not, definitely didn't make it. Most likely, what happened is that somehow the drivers for the RAID didn't make it to the Xen kernel. That's possible. It could be that some drivers had to be mounted manually and were not set to mount during the reboot. So. Okay. Okay, and I found where, luckily, we have a nice documentation here. Okay, so I'm checking to see if MDAM that's installed. Now I'm going into bullet 5. So this looks like a RAID set was created. So that's not good. That's interesting. So 0.5, this is very interesting. Somehow the RAID set was lost. Strange. So I'm recreating the work that was done here on step 5 on Graham's documentation. Now this is interesting. There you are, Squee. You exist.
Yes, it's true. I don't even think that.
Everyone else had this secret weapon.
Okay, so what I've just determined is that somehow the RAID was destroyed during the reboot, so that has me very concerned. I'm also a little concerned about I'm concerned about rebooting the entire system when I'm not there. Although it probably is okay as long as I comment that piece out. Yeah, anyways, okay. Huh. That's not good.
Yeah.
Bye, Bunny.
Huh. Okay, so I'm a little concerned that the RAID didn't survive the reboot. So I'm going to reboot the system to confirm that the RAID survives the reboot, but I'm going to do it somewhat safely by commenting out. So we'll mount it after the reboot completes. The reason why I'm doing this is because if the RAID is somehow dying on a reboot, then obviously it's not safe for us to it's not safe for us to install anything onto it. Okay. Okay, so here goes. I'm going to do a reboot. So this is kicking everybody out of the client. and hopefully it recovers. So, naming conventions. Thoughts?
Well, that's it.
Fuck!
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Fuck!
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but